What's up, guys? So I did this video last year where I did all the runs that I had from the National Championship, and I just kind of played them back to back to back. I had a little bit of text, had my times next to me, but this year I want to try something a little different. So I wanted to actually kind of break down my runs, kind of talk about the weekend, talk about the race, talk about what happened, and how I came up with this. So let's buckle in, let's see what happened. So as the races drew near, we really didn't know what was going to happen with the forecast. So we were in the Heat 3. In Heat 1 and 2, it was overcast, it didn't really drizzle. As Prepared Front in particular got up to the line, the first 5 cars got up there, had a nice clean dry run. And it was like the 4th and 5th car started to get crossed, it started opening up. And the dilemma with that is the ground's already turned up. You have this nice fresh dirt exposed to a downpour of rain. What I could have done is I could have swapped over to my Indy Sports immediately, but I was literally pulling up onto the start line as the rain poured down. And as you can see in the video, I even say like, oh, here comes the rain. My setup for this was SGs up front. The Indy Sport SGs are kind of a medium mud compound. These, I don't know if you can really see those on the camera. And then I had the gravels on the back. I had the Pirelli Scorpions on the back, thinking that if it was kind of mucky, I could still pull that around. Well, that didn't work out so well. So the first 5 guys were seeing like 40s and 50 seconds. When it got up to us when it was really raining, I ended up running like a 67 or a 68. So it immediately put us at a 20-second disadvantage for the whole field. So here's the run. Here comes the rain. So as you can see, that was absolutely miserable. We got back to grid. I had my buddy Jason Fuller. Huge shout out to that dude. Great guy. Amazingly fast driver. Like, you'll see a lot of him in the future. And if you've seen him in some of my other videos, like my Where's Justin videos. Anyway, hey Jason. Yeah, you put it right about there.
Slide in that left-handed sweeper. Pitching it.
Down on the jack.
Oh, nicely under control.
Bring it right up, Hal. Can you run? Right. Not as far up as we go.
62, 042, 042. That's a killer run in the wet, Edward. Nicely done.
But anyway, Jason and my dad helped me swap over to my mud setup immediately because it was no question I needed that setup right now. So what I did is I went with the Indy Sports up front. You can kind of see them here. They're the ultra knobbies. Indy Sports up front, and then the SGs in the rear. So full mud in the front and medium mud in the rear. And with that setup, it was the first time really running that, especially in a really sloppy setup. And you can see on this second run, I'm kind of getting my bearings with it. It's still pretty slick. Really, for that condition, there's not going to be a whole lot of tire that's going to get you out of that. That is a really, really sloppy condition. We still had some killer times that run. We had Jim, Jake, and Edwin. Everybody was just throwing down some killer times still in this sloppy mud. But that was my first real time getting with the mud. So I still put out a competitive time, but it wasn't as fast as I wanted it to be because it was still kind of feeling out. And I had no idea what run pressure was. As you can see in the second run, I'm still learning. I screw up the rear end real bad, like the very last little slalom. A lot of people were having problems in the mud there. I tried to back off a little bit, but I still carried a bit too much speed, and you can see how bad I suffer at the end. So for run number 3 of the morning, it was still sloppy. I still hadn't quite figured out what my tire pressures needed to be, but still sent it out there. You can see in this run, I kind of went a little sideways, got a little sloppier than I really wanted to be. But the good news of all that was I put down enough competitive times. I kept myself close enough to stay in contention. 4th or 5th, I can't remember. But I was still in contention. I still felt good. I know what I had to do in the afternoon. So you can see in this 3rd run, it was pretty much a tank slap, kind of drifting it out, just keeping the car controlled and trying to put down a solid time. So the afternoon run of day 1, there's 2 runs we got. I knew it was my time. I knew that we're gonna have a lot of grip, and I was gonna have to be able to send it as hard as I could. We were still in group 3, so that meant 2 groups go ahead of us. They opened up some fresh dirt for us, took off the rain and slop layer, and left us with some nice pay dirt. It was still pretty sloppy, but with my setup with the SGs in the rear and my BRs in the front, it was a lot of grip, a lot more than I expected to have. So on the first run you'll see here, run number 4 of the day, I was pretty confident, was kind of feeling it out, and I just kept pushing. I felt the grip was there. So you can see the confidence starting to build here, and I laid down a really good time. First run of the afternoon. And now for the hero run. this run made my entire weekend. I don't care if I went home after this, didn't trophy, whatever. If I could have just had this one run and just retired, I've been fine with that. So I get up to the line. I know my tire pressure's right, the grip is there, the speed's there, the car's there, the course is so much fun for this kind of design. I am ready to go. I know what I have to do. So what I do is I push the car. And I know where to set it, and I set it to where it's supposed to be, and it holds the line. It holds the line, holds the power. I'm in the throttle as much as I can, and it just never gives up on me. The car is there, the grip is there. It just pulls through everything, and it felt like such a hero run. And there's this one moment where I'm coming up to this blind hill, and that's probably my favorite part of this entire weekend, is this blind hill jump turn. And I apologize in advance. I don't have the in-car footage because my mind, the one run I wanted in-car footage for, I forgot to hit the button. I know, I have a note on my dash, hit the button, hit the GoPro on, and I forgot it. But anyway, thankfully my dad is recording with my camera on the outside, so he actually got the whole outside of the run. You can see.
Screaming run, a full 4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field on this second set of run. That's gotta feel good.
I really wish I had the in-car data because I was hyped up. Anyway, so let me set this corner up. You come around this long sweeper, and you'll see in the video, and you're coming, there's a cone on the hill, and you're coming at this cone, and you have to remember there's a cone on the bottom of the hill that you have to turn into. So what I did is I set the car ready to jump sideways, knowing that I'm going to land and have to go that way, and it does exactly what I wanted to do. There's no better feeling than a car doing exactly what you want it to do. So I jump in the air and land it. I'm surprised at how it lands exactly where I want it to. I'm still in the power. Steer it on out. Get to the finish. I hit a 51.5, I think 5.8, which was at the time 5 seconds faster than the next in class, which was just mind-blowing. I was so pumped. You'll see my main competition in this whole thing has been Jake. Me and him have been kind of battling this out back and forth ever since Watkins Glen last year. If you look at the times, me and him, like what happens is I'll run a fast run, he'll get that in his mind that he can run that too, and he runs just a fraction faster. So I come across the line, everybody's cheering me on, like everybody's clapping their hands, people are giving high fives, people are saying huge thumbs up, way to go. The announcer was saying how fast a run that was and how good it felt, and it did. But when I was going through grid, I saw Jake, and I looked over at him with my helmet on, and I pointed at him, and he nodded.
I'm done.
Oh, did I not record that? Oh my god.
51.5.
Hell
Here's
yeah.
Carl.
That was on it there.
Wants some dry run.
Is that your first one?
Second.
Okay.
The first one was a 54.6.
55,
No, 53.6.
Apparently he
Well, that was on it. I had just a little bit more. I could have got it, but I even let out of the throttle.
This car.
You were screaming down his backside.
Dude, I was full throttle pendant. I set myself up in that corner to come off sideways.
Easy is coming at us here. Oh, I see
It
people
picked
running.
right
People running behind the blue SRT4.
Dude, I know, right?
Really coming
felt
through
good.
the course. There it is, 51, 512, 51,
Matched it.
512. That's your new fastest time in prepared.
As long as me and him are moving up, that's all it's good.
Fastest
You have to
individual.
So I'm celebrating with everybody in grid and getting high fives. Everybody's saying how awesome the drive that was and just asking me what it felt like, what I did. I was really excited. I see Jake take off from the line. I hear him. Everybody's still buzzing about mine, and all of a sudden he comes across the line. He runs a 51.51 to my 51.57. Ah, you did it, Jake. You knew the traction was there after I got back, and you ran it. That's what I like about this thing. Is no matter who I'm against, no matter what I'm doing, it's always fun to see who's better than you. I want to be better than that. I know that me and him are going back and forth, and that's awesome. That's the story I want to tell. Like, he's a killer driver, killer setup. I want to be the killer driver and a killer setup, and I want to go head to head all the time with those kind of people. That's why I like rallycross. That's why I travel around the country, to meet these kinds of people that I can face off with. And I had duels like that all over the country this year, all over the country last year, and bringing it all to nationals this year with all my cards on the table felt amazing. So thank you, Jake. Thank you, everybody. That was sick. So let's move on to day 2. So opening scene of day 2. We get there, it has rained all night long, and it was like a severe storm rain. It was, I think, 3 inches overnight, something like that. The ground's saturated. Everybody's kind of defeated. I'm kind of thinking that they're just going to call it because the stock cars are not going to have a chance. They're not going to have fun. They're not going to be able to make it on course. Well, the geniuses, the absolute brilliant geniuses who did course design, I think is Brianne Korn, Leon Drake, I forget the other gentleman's name, but thank you guys so much for the way you set up the course. Knowing the conditions, knowing the course, they set up a perfect course for the conditions. So what they did is they stayed on the most level part of the field, made it as straight as they possibly could, with still a nice long sweeper, still bring you back in to keep you honest. But they set it up beautifully for the conditions, and I cannot thank them enough, because the harder it rained, the more sloppy it got, and they went and adjusted the course even more. And you'll see when it gets to my runs, it's almost a drag race out of the gate into the long sweeper in the back. That's all by design to keep us able to hold our momentum, not get too slowed down, not get stuck on course, and keep the whole event going. So it was kind of a game time decision that morning, whether we were going to just cancel the event where we were, or try to run all of our runs, or at least try to run 2 runs. There was a lot of different options on the table. We all decided on 2 runs. Just give us 2 runs and that's all we need. Now in my case, being 20 seconds back from the start, I would have loved to have all my runs, but what are you gonna do? I'm not mad about what I ended up finishing as, and you'll see here, I'll go ahead and play the next 2 runs back to back just so you can see. I don't have my telemetry data from my phone for these 2 runs because my phone was kind of on the fritz from all the rain the day before. So I don't have the cool overlay like I had in those other videos. Very fun, a surprising amount of grip. I still put down some competitive runs, and I got a little lucky. I was right there behind Edwin all weekend, and I was in 5th. And he actually spun out right there before the end on the last run, I think. And I know it pushed him into 5th place, put me into 4th place. But also my rerun that I got was not as great. My actual run was a lot better than the actual rerun, but either way, I ended up in 4th place. Anyway, here's the runs. Day 2, pouring rain. Last run of the weekend. Now last run, I gotta rerun. So that was it, Rallycross Nationals 2019, Indianola, Iowa. I finally did it. I finally brought home a trophy from a national event for Rallycross. Like that was nuts. I've gotten trophies from the national tour stuff, but the actual national championship, it feels good. It's not quite what the result I could have had. There's not a lot of people that would go to a national championship and be like, oh yeah, it's whatever. I expect to probably get fourth. No, we all want number one. We all were shooting for that spot, but the way things worked out, it wasn't this year, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. What I'm excited about is I got to go on a national stage, prove that I'm a fast driver, prove that the car is set up right, hang out with all my best friends like in the entire world, like the rallycross community, rally community, all the just playing the dirt kids community, the best. So thank you all. I had an awesome time seeing all of you. I hope that if you see me around, I'll be playing a field somewhere near you very soon. I'm positive. Local events are still going on. I'll be traveling to BCR in Austin this December with the family. I'll be going down to see Brianne Korn and all the wonderful people down in Maxwell. Love the family down there. Love having a great time down there. And if you have any rallycross questions, man, please ask me. I want to inform people about this sport. It's changed my life, literally. Like, this is too much fun. I can't explain. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this format. If you did, let me know, please, so I can keep this up. It's a lot more personal than my just, here's a blank run of my rally. Here's just in car and some text. I think it helps with kind of the narrative, so you can kind of put yourself there in my mindset. It was a great event. Car ran flawlessly. I'm super excited. All my sponsors, Melee, WaveSpec, Kaaz, Skidplateguy. Thank you guys so much. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been here. Thanks to Dan Colburn for hooking me up with the tires on the way up. Everybody that's been there along the way, you guys rock. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Also, I hope you like the new camera. This is on my new 90D. I got a new Canon 90D. I started my career off with the Canon 80D, which has been fantastic, and I never, ever would expect it to be where I am now. So, I'll be like, now for real, bye.